Hey, what's up? I think it's my first time actually filming a video inside my family home. But anyways, just wanted to take some time to make a video about this injury that I've sustained and the mindset that's kind of like translated over into not only helping me heal the injury, but it is a mindset that quite literally applies to everything in life, in trading, business, and just life in general. But anyways, just for some context, if you guys, like, if you haven't been following me over the last week or so, I had a little motorbike accident in Bali. And right now, I've basically just been stuck on a wheelchair, like I can't really walk. And this has genuinely been one of the most amounts of pain. Sorry, not one of the, like, this is genuinely the most painful period that I've ever had in my life. And as I reflect on this, and Merry Christmas, by the way, like I'm filming this on Christmas, so when you're watching this, if you do celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. But one of the things that I realized as I reflected on this entire journey of just recovery is the entire mindset of controlling what you can control and letting go of everything else that you cannot. Now, just to give you some context, do a little bit of storytelling, just to explain how I got. There's one of those moments in the cinema where you can write, "That's me." You must be wondering how I ended up with this. So basically, I was in Bali for 2 months, and on the second last day of my trip, which was around last week, I got into a motorcycle accident. And it wasn't even because I was driving like really recklessly. I wasn't going fast. Thankfully, I wasn't going fast because this could have been a lot worse. But I was driving down the same road that I've kind of driven down many, many times before, and it just so happened that there was a construction site nearby, and there was some sand that got onto the road. The moment the wheels hit the sand, it just whoosh, the bike flew away, and I ended up probably flying a couple of meters, which is not much, but when you consider the fact that I was literally sliding through sand, rock, and asphalt, that's how I end up with this. So basically, I was driving safe. It was nothing out of the ordinary. And because of that, all I got away with is a huge amount of, just a huge surface area of just skin that is no longer there. No bones broken, thankfully, and nothing, no concussions. I didn't hit my head. I just basically had, right now, just the entire right side of my body is kind of in tatters, and because of that, I've also been experiencing the most amount of pain that I've ever felt in my life. And it's kind of 24/7, constant. Never mind the fact that I'm going for wound dressings every single day where they remove the bandages, apply antiseptic onto the wound, and scrape off any slough that's on there so that, the wound can heal quicker. But the point that I'm trying to, now that you understand kind of the backstory of how I got here, let's talk about that mindset thing that has served me really well. And one of the things that I'm just really proud of as I look back at this entire, right now it's day 9, maybe day 10, since I've had the injury. One thing that I'm incredibly proud of is the fact that at no point in time did I ever complain or feel upset or feel oh, pity me, or just feel angry, or just in general feel negatively about the whole situation. And when I say that, I truly mean it. Every single day right now, just to explain what I'm going through, I'm dealing with 24/7, just 8 out of 10 pain, at least for the last solid 7 days. This is when I'm not even walking. When I'm walking, let's just say I'm not able to really walk without painkillers at the moment. I'm on crutches. I have a wheelchair. So the pain is one thing, and don't even get me started on when they open up the wound. Oh my Lord. And even just the other day, 3 days ago, I went to see a plastic surgeon because turns out, I never knew this, but my family member told me that plastic surgeons are apparently the forefront expert on wound healing. If you want your wounds to heal quick and without any sort of visible scarring, you see a plastic surgeon. I was yeah, of course, that makes sense. I just never thought of it before. But I'm glad my family member told me. And I went to see a plastic surgeon. When he opened up the wound, he took one look at it and he's right, you're going to need injection. All right, is that it? Yeah. Any other alternatives? No, not really. Just the injection. Right, what's this injection about? Oh, it's exosomes and stem cells. Cool. I've heard that you can apply exosomes externally. Yeah, that is true, but right now you're coming to me on day 6 of your, wound, and if this was day 1, I would have maybe applied externally, but if you don't want it to scar, injection's the only way to go. Right. Any side effects? Nope. All right. Sure. Let's do it. But you should know that I will be injecting the stem cells directly into your wound. Into my wound. Like, yeah, into the wound. And it's not going to be just one injection. He has to basically go in and out and in and out and in and out until he covers, like, in, inject, out, in, inject, out, in, inject. Oops, drop my cigar. Until he basically covers the entire surface area of my wound. I don't know why I agreed to it. Probably because he said that if I did that surgery or that procedure, then my wound would heal in a few days rather than the few weeks that it was projected to. Right now, I haven't taken off the bandages yet, so we'll see if that is really the case. But yeah, I've gone through that. That is genuinely the most painful experience I've ever had in my life. Like, there was no anesthesia, no painkillers, no nothing. Just, they gave me 2 rubber balls. So anyways, even throughout all of that pain, at no point did I complain. And don't get me started on the amount of money that I've had to spend on all of this healthcare. It's been at least a few $1,000s that I would not have had to spend if I didn't have this accident. And lastly, it's the amount of time that I'm spending on all of this, because right now I'm spending a solid 2 to 3 hours a day just on either visiting various healthcare facilities or just doing something to allow this to heal faster. And so all of this combined, it would be a very justifiable reason to be upset or just angry about this whole situation. But at the end of the day, my firm belief, at least a motto that I have carried over through my whole life, is that, you can't really control if bad things happen, but if there's one thing that will make a bad situation even worse than it already is, it's to feel negatively about it. Like, the external situation is already negative. And if you also feel negatively internally, you're just causing yourself more unnecessary pain that you don't really need to. On the other hand, and this is not like saying, oh, you should remain optimistic in any situation. It's more about alright, if we look at it rationally, we can't really control the fact that something bad has happened. What we can control, though, is how we react to it and how we kind of approach this, and how swiftly we try to look for a solution, how level-headed that we can be. And in general, yeah, it's, at the end of the day, it's just, when given a choice, you always have a choice. Everybody always has a choice to control the way that, they react to negative situations. Now, there's something that you cannot control, is bad things happening. I'm sure, touch wood, motorcycle accident's only going to happen once in my life, but I'm sure there'll be other, bad things that happen that I just cannot control, right? Much like, let's say the financial markets. Black swan events are always going to happen. You can't really control that. But you know what you can control? Damage minimization. Or just controlling the way they react. It's the same thing as, just to use another trading example. If you end up taking a really bad loss, even though you've done everything correctly, there's no point getting angry or starting to revenge trade or going emotional trading, because what's happened has already happened. You can either make it better or you can make it worse. A lot of people, they tend to choose to make it worse. They react, they panic, and I'm talking about life in general. This has been mostly the case with a lot of people in my life, that whenever something happens, first reaction is not to stay calm and just to assess the situation. How do we kind of proceed? It's panic, get angry, whatever. And ultimately, what I'm trying to share here is, this is not going to be the worst situation that I will ever run into in my life. I'm sure there will be worse coming. But if you just not complain, or just accept the situation for what it is. Really, truly accept it. Not just you think you accept it, or really accept it. Because once you have true acceptance, alright, I've gotten injured, I'm probably staring down thousands of dollars worth of medical bills, a whole lot of pain, and I'm probably going to end up with scars. You know what? That's fine. What can I do to minimize it? And just go full steam forward with that. This applies to anything, and this literally applies to anything in life. There's always going to be bad shit that's going to happen. But the thing that you can always control is your reaction to everything. And this is not even about being stoic or whatever. It's just, logically, if you think about it, bad stuff is always going to happen, and you always have 2 choices in that moment, or in the moments leading, or in the moments after. One, you can either try to make it better. B, you can try to make it worse. don't make it worse. It's nothing difficult. But anyways, this heavily applies into trading as well, and I'm sure you can see how. Like, you're always going to get situations where you don't necessarily want it, but instead of getting angry and making things worse and ending up with more money lost, you can always control what you can control, which is your reaction to the situation. But anyways, this was just a quick video, honestly, just to share, just to kind of get this off my chest. And I feel like, since I'm already in this much pain and I'm already, sitting on a wheelchair and going through all of this, I may as well try to make something out of it by making a video. And yeah, this is very much a content creator type of thinking. But anyways, I digress. I wish you guys a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and get to smoking my little cigar. Because pretty much it's the only thing that I can do right now. And I'm not even supposed to be smoking cigars, like plastic surgeon taught me. Absolutely no smoking over the next few days, but this stays between you and me. Ciao, ciao.